What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to say thank you so much to each and every single one of you that have been supporting the channel, my viewers, my subscribers, supporters, eBay customers, friends, family, neighbors, everybody across the board. You are amazing. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, smash that like button, comment in the comments section below, and hit the bell to receive notifications if you want to help to support the channel financially. Click on my eBay stores link. I've been selling baseball cards and various other items from time to time. My eBay store is called the Carolina Collector 001. And to my eBay customers, I am still endeavoring at the time I'm making this video to lower all of my prices on my baseball cards at a flat rate of 99 cents, with the exception of maybe like a dozen baseball cards. So go check that out. I also have various other items there for you to consider. And if you want to make a donation to the channel, click on the coffee link in the description box below. But thank you, everybody across the board. I really appreciate it. We have to talk about this again, and this subject is actually getting kind of annoying. And it's actually anger-inducing. Now, I have no right to get angry because I happen to have one. I've showed him on camera. This is my studio series, More Than Meets the Eye, Transformers the movie, Starscream. I got mine through Hasbro Pulse with no issue at all. Fortunately, I'm glad I did. Big shout out to Super Robot Ed, by the way, a fellow Carolinian who released a video that I'm kind of gleaming some of this information off of. So go check out his channel, Super Robot Ed. You know, he makes great content. He's always doing commentary and criticism and always updating the Transformers fan base on things that are coming out. And, you know, he's like myself. He's very critical of things, but he's a good content creator. Again, fellow Carolinian. Ed, kudos, man. So I just want to give credit where credit is due because, again, this information I'm kind of gleaming from his YouTube video. And I want to add some information to it. As you know, this whole release has been a huge disaster. It's been a mess. Hasbro, through their distribution or however this has gone or whoever is the middleman, they made a decision to make this an exclusive through Target. Again, I got mine through Hasbro Pulse, and thank God I did. And people's orders are getting canceled left and right. And I've had my thoughts about this, and I've had my criticisms about this. Number one, I am a grown-ass adult. I'm a 49-year-old man, almost going to be 50 years old. I have priorities in my life. This is secondary. If I didn't get it, I'm just going to sit back and wait. I'm not going to clamor over a toy. Even though I do have shelves filled up with Transformers toys and other collectibles, this is not a priority in my life. It's a goddamn toy at the end of the day. To me, it's a statue. I pick it up once in a while. I'll fidget around with him. I'll have it on my desk. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll transform him a couple times. But at the end of the day, he's just a toy. He's a collectible. He's a statue. He's a fidget spinner. He's a Rubik's Cube. He is a 100-piece puzzle to me as a grown man. But again, fortunately, I have him. And I'm going to say this not just as a consumer, but I am an eBay seller as well. I find this whole situation to be completely screwed up. It is just way out of whack. And again, thank you to Super Robot Ed for talking about this. And I actually wanted to confirm something that he showed in his most recent video talking about this subject. I actually printed it out for my own eyes. So here is Takara Tomi's attempt to right this wrong. So this is the Japanese version of our Starscream that we got here in the States and where other jurisdictions across the pond got their copies of Starscream. But now Takara Tomy is releasing their version of this, and you look at that price, it's $64.99. Now, I think a lot of people are getting this out of context. You have to realize that if this is coming from Japan, don't forget we got the great orange man, the great pumpkin in the White House. Now, I've denounced my support for Trump because he has not come through on a lot of his campaign promises. Gas prices are still high. Grocery prices are still high. I mentioned my More Than Meets the Eye hot rod that is now up on my shelf in my collection now. I had to pay a $13 tariff on that, and forgive me, I have to correct myself again. I know I discussed this in a previous video. I falsely mentioned that the tariff was $30 on that figure from CMD in Canada. That's incorrect. It was $13, so I misspoke. Forgive me for that. But anyway, a tariff is a tariff. It's an extra tax. So whatever I paid for the figure, I had to pay for the shipping, I had to pay the taxes, and I had to pay another tax on top of that, which is Trump's tariffs as a result. That $64.99 is because it's coming from Japan. You're paying for the shipping and you're paying Trump's tariff on top of this. That's insane for a Transformers figure. We already know, and I have come to realize, that anything that you buy overseas is going to be super expensive. I'm wearing an example of it right now. This Bayern Munich Champions League jersey from last season. I had to pay a tariff on it, a $30 tariff to get it here from Bayern Munich's German website. And it sucks because it's more money out of my pocket. This is not what I voted for. And this figure has become so sought after that when I saw this, I got to watch what I say here because this is YouTube. And my words can be misconstrued. This person is by far one of the most despicable people that clearly exemplify everything that is wrong with this situation. I printed this out to show you. Studio Series More Than Meets the Eye Collection Starscream Voyager Class sealed new in box. Okay? This is directly from eBay. I just printed this out prior to me making this video. Okay, folks? You see it right there. Okay? Now, I'm not going to encourage anybody. I'm not telling anybody to go over there and chastise this person or attack this person. But this should anger you to no end. This person has 5 of these. And he or she is selling this for $199.99. There you go. You can go look for this yourself. Again, this channel is not encouraging anybody to attack this person or go over there to chastise this person on eBay, but you see it with your own 2 eyes. $199.99. I've never seen anything like this before. For a $30 Transformers toy, which by all logic and reasoning technically is a children's toy. And this is adults, grown adults, clamoring and fighting over this. Sweetheart, the priorities, again, are way out of whack. Again, I am an eBay seller. You all know that. I've talked about that on the channel. I have been endeavoring to lower my prices on a lot of my things so that this way, you know, I understand the economy is messed up, but I am selling low-end sports cards at this point in time, and they're very difficult to sell because of the enormity or the amounts of cards that are out there. I'm in stiff competition with fellow eBay sellers, so I'm doing everything I can to sell cards. As a matter of fact, at the time of this video, here are my latest eBay orders right here. Again, I don't want to dox my customers. I try not to do that. But there you go. My latest orders. There's actually 3 cards there and a Megatron from Netflix, or the Netflix exclusive Megatron. I actually sold it on eBay. And I sold it for $22 and change, minus taxes and fees. When is this going to end? When things like this happen, what I just showed you, I'm surprised it actually landed on my table, or on my TV stand, by the way. But this, something needs to be done. Didn't we have hearings in Congress talking about ticket prices and things like that, and things being flipped and scalped for extreme amounts of money? This is the most extreme price to date that I've found when it comes to this toy. It's a fucking kid's toy. Whether any of you want to accept that or not, stop living in denial. This is a hunk of plastic that is modeled after a make-believe humanoid. It's a toy robot. And many of you are probably my age who grew up with this stuff. Now, I'm a collector. This is not me bashing my fellow collectors. But at the end of the day, accept this for what it is. It's a children's toy at the end of the day. That's what it is. For $200. And then Takara pulls this stunt, estimated to arrive fourth quarter. In other words, towards the end of the year. October, November, or September, October, November, December. No, I'm sorry. I was right the first time. October, November, December. You get divide quarters up into 4 months. 3 months. I'm sorry. 3, 6, 9, 12. So my math is a little off. See, I'm a human being. I'm not AI. I mess up too. So a quarter in a year are 3 months. So October, November, or December is when they're anticipating this thing to be released from Japan at $64 plus taxes, plus a tariff on top of that, I guarantee. Because it's coming from Japan. We have lost our minds. We have lost our priorities, folks. I'm sorry to say it. And I'm very happy for those collectors that have really showed dedication in going out into the wild and getting their copies directly off Target shelves. Good for you, folks. Like, I'm happy I got mine when I did. Otherwise, I'd be just like the rest of you. I'd be effed in the A. Well, I probably wouldn't do it because, again, as an eBay seller, I've gained a lot of experience over these past almost 27 months doing it. I would never pay more than retail for this thing. In a year or two, maybe, because things do appreciate depending on supply and demand and want and need. Now, obviously, this is a high demand figure. Hasbro screwed up by making this an exclusive through Target and through Hasbro Pulse. Fans want this guy. You can't have a Decepticon collection from G1 without Megatron, Soundwave, and Starscream. Those are the three main baddies. Just like, arguably, in my opinion, Optimus Prime, Ironhide, and Bumblebee. Or, in most cases, Wheeljack, etc. I mean, you know, you can pick and choose which trifecta you feel are like the top tier 3 figures or characters from G1. It's like in Star Trek, Kirk, Spock, McCoy. The Three Stooges, Moe, Larry, Curly. The Three Musketeers. Even in the War of the Worlds sci-fi movie, those war machines operated in threes in the classic movie. I don't know about the Tom Cruise movie. It's a toy. And I'm on the side of the collector. This is bullshit, folks. It really is. It really is. This is greed at its worst, what you see here. And the dumbasses that decide to pay that price, $109, and again, I'm not encouraging anybody to go over to eBay and admonish this person. This channel is not encouraging that. But look at that price from this eBay seller. This is scalping at its worst. $200. And then Tomi Takara releases the Japanese version to the public. It's sold out. It won't be available until October, November, or December at $64.99 plus tax, shipping, and tariffs. We have gone completely off the rails here, folks. This hobby, all these hobbies have gone berserk. In the sports card hobby, you're getting more for less. In other words, you're paying more for less, I should say. Let me correct myself there. You're paying higher prices for less product. Shrinkflation is a fact. You see this in a grocery store all the time. Cereal boxes are shrinking, but yet these companies are still charging full price. Apparently, we have all these millions of gallons of gasoline, millions of barrels of gas that Trump loves to tout. Gas prices down here are still way over $3. When I moved down here, it was $1.79. Highest it's ever been was $2.09. We actually hit around the time of the China virus. It was like 4 and change, in some cases 5 and change. And now it's leveled off at approximately $3.20, all the way up to about $3.79. You and I are paying the price. Just because I sell things on eBay doesn't mean I'm exempt. You know, I have to eat too, just like the rest of you. I got bills to pay. I just paid my car insurance today, as a matter of fact. And I'm lucky that my car insurance rates came down because I'm of age now. You know, I'm You know, I'm in middle, I'm steadily, if you don't want to consider this middle age being 49 years old, I'm slowly approaching middle age, whatever you want to define that as. When is this going to stop? When will this come to an end, folks? This is way beyond explanation and control. This is clearly, and again, you can see there are 5 of them. When you click on the quantity button, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's $1,000 that this person is trying to make off of a $30 fucking action figure. This is why sneaker culture died. And this is why Hasbro are going to take a severe hit in their rear end, because if they start releasing knockoff figures, which we've already seen videos and photos of the knockoff Thundercracker from Studio Series. I hate to say it, I got Studio Series Thundercrackers sitting right there on my shelf. I almost now wish I would have waited, because I probably would have bought the knockoff. It's a little cheaper, and it's got a lot more bells and whistles to it, including wheels in the feet, as far as landing gear is concerned, gap fillers for the sides, and especially when you transform this guy, it's got a huge gap on its belly in jet mode. You could transform his weapons from the missile to the ion blaster, or whatever you want to call it. Nice little features that are added to that figure. The quality may not be as good as this, but it sure as hell has a lot more to offer than this does. That's why in sneaker culture, right here, I got my Nike Air Jordan 11 Retros. Well, these are a specific Jordan 11. These have a certain name to them. I always forget what they call these, with the gold Jumpman on the back. But that's why knockoffs are a big thing now in the sneaker community, because, and I hate using that word community because it implies communism and groupthink, but it fits it with this context, because with the flipping of sneakers, even with shoes like this, as soon as they're immediately taken off the shelf and sold on eBay, people are trying to get these, or trying to sell these and flip these for $500, $600, $700. And that's why sneaker culture died, because people got sick and tired of it. They wanted their shoes and wanted to have their cake and eat it too. So they started getting what they call repros or replicas or knockoffs. Pick your name, pick your adjective, your descriptor. And a lot of people are wearing, in sneaker culture, they call them reps. That's what's going to happen with this. There are plenty of reps or replicas or knockoffs or third-party figures that have significantly improved upon the regular releases. Is that what you want, Hasbro? I grew up with this stuff. This is an amazing figure. I wish I had this as a kid, but this is where we're at now. And now I'm an adult. I know where my priorities are. And given the state of affairs today, with the absolute greed that exists out there, when it comes to low-life, worthless, welfare, EBT, food stamp assholes like this that don't work for a living, who are clearly trying to literally steal from you. This is theft, in my opinion. Worthless, low-life, dirtbag scumbags are trying to take advantage of this. I've talked about that when it came to those Stanley grown-up sippy cups. It happens with sneakers. It happens with concert tickets. Happens with tickets to sporting events. And now, children's toys. That grown adults are clamoring over. It's fucking shameful, folks. But again, I am a collector, and I look at this from a childlike perspective because, you know, reality gets to be too much after a while. We all want escapism. We all want to run away from the bullshit. I'm tired of seeing Trump's face on TV. I'm tired of seeing Biden on TV all the time. Right now, we got Roy Cooper and this other jackass running for North Carolina senator. I'm tired of seeing these people. I'm tired of hearing all the bad news and death and disease and war and shootings and robberies. It's like this. That's why we clamor for this stuff. And again, I'm talking as a collector. But as an adult, a rational, responsible adult, there is no reason for this, in my opinion. This, especially this, $199, folks. It needs to stop. Don't you dare cave in to these thieves. Wait a while. If you're an adult, just wait. You'll get yours eventually. Most people are. Fuck these people, as far as these flippers and scalpers are concerned. And for Big Bad Toy Store to literally sell a copy of this for nearly double the price, shame on them too. It's out of control, folks. The only thing we can do is either not participate or wait for third-party knockoffs. Otherwise, don't cave. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Take care, everybody.